The yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I, Ms. Shushma Kindalkar, is your host for today, and I welcome each and everyone for the 58th virtual webinar of Sadgun Sang Meet on the topic Familiarity about FSMS ISO 22000. Cleanliness and hygiene has been embedded into the Indian culture since the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro times. Cleanliness is equally important when it comes to food and its preparation. Cooking, though a clumsy and multitask-oriented process, needs to be fully handled to ensure the product is palatable and contains no foreign material. Food safety and food hygiene are important as they ensure that the food you handle and produce is safe for consumption. If food safety and hygiene are not maintained, consumers could become seriously ill with food poisoning and foodborne illnesses. Therefore, food safety and food hygiene are of the utmost importance to protect the health of consumers. In businesses, food safety and hygiene are of utmost importance as it helps to guard the health of consumers from foodborne illnesses and food poisoning. Sickness occurs when food becomes contaminated by bacteria, viruses, and other germs, making those people unwell who consume the contaminated food. Agenda for today's Sadgun Sang Meet. 11:05 to 11:07, virtual inauguration by Dr. Sundar Kataria. 11:07 to 11:08, invoking the blessing of deity. 11:08 to 11:10, introduction of speaker. 11:10 to 11:45, presentation by Mr. Om Prakash Rana. 11:45 to 11:50, introduction of the panelists, Mr. Om Prakash Rana, Mr. Vikas Kumar, Mr. Manish Puranik, and Dr. Sundar Kataria. 11:50 to 12:25, there will be a panel discussion followed with the question and answer session. And at 12:25, we shall have the closing session. Sadgun Sang, conceived and led by Dr. Sundar Kataria, driven with a mission to elevate the quality, safety, and environmental awareness levels of industry. Sadgun Sang is a series of educative, informative events aiming to illuminate professionals on possible solutions to current issues of industry and economy. Brief discussion about Dr. Sundar Kataria. He's a chairman and managing director for International Certification Services Private Limited, mechanical engineer AMIE, honorary doctorate into business management. Experience is into nuclear RAPP. He started his career in building India's first nuclear power plant at Rawat Bhata, Kota, Rajasthan. Oil and gas, EIL. He contributed in developing India's first oil and gas field at Bombay High since its inception. DNV. He was head of industry and offshore development with DNV for 2 decades. ICS. He is founder of First Indian Conformity Assessment and Inspection Body known as International Certification Services Private Limited, which is a provider of a total quality solution under single umbrella with wide spectrum of services. Achievements, a Lifetime Achievement Award for NACE Corcon, received several national and international awards. Now I request Dr. Sundar Kataria to please virtually inaugurate today's session. Please join us for the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. Introduction of the keynote speaker. The keynote speaker for today is Mr. Om Prakash Rana. He's the director for Kingdom Food Products Private Limited, CEO in Tanvi Management Consultant. His academic qualification is he has done Bachelor in Science. He has industrial exposure of 31 plus years, Food Safety Auditor for FSSAI, Zero Defect Assessor in QCI for Food Sector. He is Lead Auditor for ISO 22000, FSC 22000, 9001, 14001, and ISO 45001. Master Trainer and Assessor for STAC, Food Safety Standard Authority of India, FSSAI. Hygiene Rating Auditor for STAC, Food Safety Standard Authority of India, FSSAI. So I request you to please take the session from here. Thank you. Sir, you are muted.
Namaskar. Healthy greetings to all of you. First of all, thank you so very much for having me here in front of you virtually. As you all have got my introduction, let me brief on this once again. I am serving food industry since last 32 plus years in different verticals and different services. As Madam told that I am associated with FSSAI. I am a lead auditor for many ISO systems associated with Quality Council of India for assessing. I am the region of mine over here for this ISO 22000 is not that I am a lead auditor for ISO for many systems or a director of the Kingdom Food or CEO of Tanvi Management Consultant. My relation with these system is so long, started way back in late 80s. I am in love with the management system standards. At the ISO, when I have started my career in late 80s, the ISO was very much not familiar with the people. Then ISO was known for 9001 only. And it seems when that comes across me that I found that it was a global regulatory kind of a system. Until and unless I have not explored this as a standard. Since then, I am day and night living with the standards. For this ISO 22000, we stick to the banner which is presented for this 30-35 minutes duration. I would like to touch the things which most people are not aware of these regarding ISO. If we'll talk about ISO 22000, it's a food safety management system. When I am traveling across the companies for auditings, for inspections, or trainings, people always ask for these small things which they don't found nowhere in the standards or any other resource. So that I just wanted to put these things in front of them like when we discussing ISO 22000, we are not discussing here for any series of ISO 22000. We are simply discussing here for ISO 22000. ISO, as you know, that it's a international organization for standardization. People knows that 22,000 is a series of a food safety management system. Why, when it comes and who are responsible for these system, I try to explain these things, that there is an organization called ISO. We have a technical committee under ISO committee number 34, which is responsible for study of food products. Under that technical committee 34, there is a subcommittee number 70, responsible for developing management system for food product. Out of these subcommittees is come up with the first ISO 2005 on the date of 1st September. Here comes the first food safety management system come for the usage for the entire world. Can you please, yes, see why this system is developed and why we as a whole, industry as a whole across the world need this system. As you know that the globalization is happening so fast nowadays, and the population is increasing day by day. When see the limited thing what we have is the land is limited for the people, and we are increasing day by day. So we need a food for each and everybody, right? What happened is we have started farming, intense farming and processing of food. There, when we do these things, a lot of things happening. If we going for a farming, intense farming, we use a lot of pesticides. If we process a food for the people ready to eat food, a lot of processing activity will take place, and by the region we are facing a lot of contamination, probability of contamination, and an increase of meal consumed outside home is another. We need a safe food outside the home. We keep on traveling because of this hectic life of the day to day. We often went for a meal outside. So we need an assurance that the meal what we are getting outside home is safe for our consumption, for our family consumption. Increase in ready to eat food. We are always trying to have a ready to eat food, which is semi cooked or cooked food. More traveling across the world. We need a homogenization of the food all across the world, so that wherever we travel, we need food of our kind every place. See, increase amount of toxic import foods, intoxication for preservation. People are using lot many things. Any number of susceptible people, as and when the things are growing, peoples are growing, supply chain is growing. We need to defense our food from the susceptible peoples. Can you please move ahead with the slide? As well as FSMS is concerned, this ISO 22000, now we are talking about the 2018 version. See, the high level structure, if we are talking, is a relationship structure between multiple management system standards. When the organization, the big organization or our organization who use multiple management system standard across the organization, initially what happened is before 2012, it is very difficult to integrate multi-system within the system. lot of people face a lot of problems when they are trying to integrate the system. When an organization has quality management system, environmental management system, or a occupational health and safety system with the 22,000 also food safety management system, then ISO has given a thought that it's very difficult to integrate all these systems under one platform. They have designed a high level structure in 2012 by ISO, IEC, and X as well. Through they come up with the common structure for all the management standards. What they have done is they have freeze the number of clause. They have freed the number of clause up to 10 for all the management standards, so that it is very easy to integrate the system with each other. See, clause are 1 to 10. They are defined as a scope, normative reference, term and definition, context of organization, leadership, planning, support, operations, performance and evaluation, and improvement. These are 7 number of clauses they have defined as a common structure. Within that, the sub clauses is taken care by the management system standard, which they have reference to. Like 9,000 has a different scope, 14,000 has a different scope. Within that, their sub clauses, 22,000 has a different, and 45,000 is so on. At present, I think 82 management system standard has adopted that high level structure. High level structure is based on process-based approach, coupled with PDCA, and risk thinking, risk analysis. Based on that, two approaches they have. If we talked about process-based approach and the PDCA, which FSMS 22,000 have a label 2 PDCA, and if we talk label 1 PDCA, that means FSMS is having 10 clauses. 1 to 7 is plan, and D means operation, and C means performance and evaluations, and A means improvement. This is the way FSMS 22,000 have a process-based approach with label 1, and label 2 PDCA means the PDCA within the operation. If we see the standard ISO standard 22,000/2018, introduction itself shows that this illustrated in figure, label 1 and label 2 PDCA. And if we are risk-based thinking, we'll talk about risk-based thinking. We have another 2 label of risk-based thinking in food safety management system, ISO 22,000. One is organizational based risk-based thinking, and the second is operational risk-based thinking, right? Organization based risk-based thinking is there is a risk in business, opportunities, aspect and impacts, and the operation is based risk-based thinking is the hazard analysis, HACCP, right? This at a high level structure is responsible for interacting within all management system standards after 2012, and it will give a platform for integration of all these systems within the organization. Will you please skip Yes, the other bullet point what we have highlighted in our today's banner is FSMS principles, primary elements and principle. Initially in 2000 2005 2005 we have these preliminary element only, that four preliminary primary elements are there: interactive communication, system management, prerequisite program, hazard analysis, critical control. When the system comes with the 2018, another general principle added into that category of principle of 2018, like focus on customer and interested party, provide leadership for organization, your organization, engage and involve your people, use a process approach, encourage improvement, use evidence to make decision, manage your corporate relationship. This is a principles of 2020, 2018. If we'll start interacting with these all primary elements and general principle of ISO 22001 by 1, we can understand the gravity of this ISO 22000 against food safety. See, when food is come, it is very important that it's a thing which gives us a life. And when we eat a food, we must ensure that the food is safe when we eat it. It does not cause adverse health impact when we eat it. To make this entire process of food safe by this implementing this ISO 22000 food management system, we need to visit each and every element of the food safety management system and interact with each and every principle of the ISO 22000. When these systems, what I have found when I am traveling across for the auditing and inspection of the food safety management system, I found that these systems like ISO 22000 is approach for implementation comes from the top management, and the result of this compliance of the food management system comes from the bottom side. It's a very unjustified thing that the system is planned and implemented from the top, but compliances come from the bottom. Here, what I have seen in the organization, that there is a gap of the implementation, where the documentation taken place by hand-holding other hand-holding agencies and the top management, the core people, but the system does not flows down to the food handler level or supervisor level, because they are not the part of implementing system. They have not even shown the structure of the food safety management system and the principle of the system, the policy of the system. When we interacting with these people during audit, then we found that they are nowhere. They are looking here and there to their team leader or the management team for this answering the question of the auditor or inspector. This is what we feel that for implementing this FSMS 20 late but not the least, we have our food safety management food safety authority come up in such a way in 2017 by putting up a training division called FOSTEC, and they have started training the food handler down the line for the layer 2 and layer 3 and layer 4 and layer 5 for basic things of food safety, like hygienes, cleaning and sanitation of the personnel or the plant or the materials or the processes or the customers or the vendors. Late but not the least, we have started activity now. We are there in the corner of changing the mindset of the people in industry. Food safety is never been a responsibility of one person sitting in the quality. They are the responsibility of each and every food handler who are there in the premises of food industry, so that we need to guide them for implementing food safety management system. We need to involve them for implementing food safety system, to make them understand the benefit of the food safety management system, or the importance of the system to eliminate the contamination or the hazards from the food through trainings, or making them aware, involving them the process, encouraging them for improving their own knowledge and personality, right? Right. This is what I think the food safety should go in the organization, so that we can have a better value addition by implementing these management system, sitting on the table and managing all the elements and the principle of FSMS throughout the company. Next slide, please. Come with the next slide, please. When we are talking about the principle, food safety principle, the hazard HACCP comes in front of us. Before 2005, HACCP is the only having guidelines for managing the food for safe. When I am talking about the 2017 Food Standard Authority comes with the FOSTEC division. Why I am saying that we are late but not the least, because when I see this tree of HACCP, which is there in 1960 periods, and they know and they understand the importance of the training and the team which lead the food safety. Like, their first preliminary step is assemble of team. They know that if the people who are implementing system must aware about the importance of the food safety, and they make them understand. They make a team of the people from different departments. They understand the system. Then they step by step describe product. They freeze up product description, and then they identify the intended use of the product. Then they construct a flow diagram to production of the product, what they are going to produce, and they doubly sure that the product which is manufactured through this flow diagram is trustworthy and there is no flaw for processing this product. Then the other part is a principle of HACCP. Then when they free that all these things before hazard analysis, then they plunge into the hazard analysis for the constructed flow diagram. They took a process, they done a hazard analysis for the hazards, whether it is physical or chemical or biological, and come up with the identifying of the critical limits. Then they establish a critical limit. First they identified point, then they establish critical limit, then they design CCP monitoring program, then they design corrective action program, then they design verification and validation of these corrective action, and the records come for the record comes for a objective evidence. This is the way they have analyzed the entire processes for food safety, right? Next slide, please. Here comes the benefit of food safety management system. Why people are implementing these food safety management system? Because this is integrated structure of the management system applicable to whole food chain. As you know that when we are discussing food safety management system, there is a food chain right from the farm to fork, and every bit of a chain, every corner of a chain can have a contamination from outside or a food itself. Then this is applicable, this because of a comprehensive structure of the food safety management system 22,000, this applicable to whole of a chain throughout the entire constructor flow diagram of the process, eliminating traditional approaches to food safety control, potential to identify all conceivable or reasonably accepted hazards to the acceptable label, or eliminate the hazard or put them in under acceptable label, capable of accommodating the changes, whatever the changes we have for the industry over a period of time, or any other aspect comes for the product as well. The system is well capable to accommodate the changes with as you see that we in 2018 FSMS we are come with the high level structure. This is the way we are accommodating other aspects and impacts of the changes. Help to target or manage resources to the most critical part of the foods operation. By this, we can optimize our processes and come out with the optimum use of the process or the machinery part is concerned and operational part is concerned. Can promote internationally trade by equalizing food safety control and by increasing confidence in food safety. As we know that we are traveling across the world very frequent nowadays. The globalization is happening very fast now. It's the need of the day that our national and international standard meets the world standard. This system also helped because of an international standard, and this is the standard which is implemented across the world for all the food and food products. Then we feel confidence against the product whenever we are traveling across the world. It gives a confidence us that the food what we eat in our country is safe, and when we are traveling other part of the country, other part of the world, the food is equally safe if the system implemented over there. Next slide, please. When we talk about food safety and food safety hazard, we will talk about the food safety. Food safety is what? The people who is within the organization that they have not many definition for food safety. Food safety means the food what we eat should not cause any adverse health impact. The food is safe. Many people are there saying that protecting people from food-based hazard is a food safety. Food safety means keeping every customers with organization, assurance that the food will not cause any adverse health impact when it is prepared or eaten according to intended use. Preventing food safety errors. Food safety errors are again a very important where we are into a food industry. There is a flow of every product, process flow we can call. We have an specified process flow step for each and every product for producing them. There should not be any deviation from these process. That is that's food safety management system will take care by implementing within that process. If I put an example that the food safety error means what? Food safety error means what? If we are cooking a food at home and we are adding spices after cooking the food is a food safety error. If we are into a dairy industry, if we are making a product and we have pasteurized a product and then we have follow the standardization process after pasteurization, this is a food safety error. And hazards. If we will talk about the food safety hazards, these are commonly physical hazard, biological hazard, chemical hazards, and the allergens. Physical hazards, if you talk about, you know that the definite this word itself say that the physical means physical, which we can see through our naked eye. Anything which is not food added into the food is hazard, right? And the physical hazard which we can see by naked eye added into the food is a physical hazard. Then we'll chemical hazard. We talk about chemical hazard. The chemical means the any cleaning and sanitation waste product, any lubricants used in process is added into this product falls under this chemical hazard. And the biological hazards means hazards which comes in the form of pathogens which we cannot see by our naked eyes is called biological hazard. A lot of pathogens are there, bacteria, fungi, and many more pathogens are there for this responsible for this biological hazard. And nowadays the fourth one is allergens. This happens because of more of a globalization. We are traveling here and there across the world. Our body is habitual to have antibodies according to their atmosphere where we live, what we eat in that particular zone. And for doing this for a longer period of time, our body is habitual. Our antibodies are knows what we eating since long time. And when we travel across and move to the another geographical area where the composition of the food, the water structure is different, and there we feel that my body is getting allergic because of eating something which is our body is not habitual to be, right? And our antibodies are not ready to adopt these. They come across when something different comes in our body, antibody is ready to fight with them, then the allergy happens. This is the allergens, this is the way allergen act in our body. Next slide, please. The last the topic what we have put across this banner of food safety management system, FSMS, the certification process. We need to understand that how the certification happen for this ISO 22000 is most of the people who work for the industry, especially the core team people of the industry who implement, document and implement this FSMS in the company. They know the structure of certification process. Let me make you understand that the ISO has a apex body that's called International Accreditation Forum, top of the world. Under that National Accreditation Forum, IAF, there are different national accreditation boards for every country, which is for India is NABCB, National Accreditation Board for certifying body. And then under that, there are many certifying body across the country. That body, certifying bodies can have accreditation for different country also. There is no bar for having multiple country accreditation on the board of certifying bodies. Then once we in the organization approaches to certifying body, before that we need to have a documentation part with us. If we'll see the flow of the documentation and implementation, once we start identifying that we need to go for a ISO 2018, we'll start with the practices what we followed in the company and the gap between the best practices of the world under the system ISO 22000. Then we done a gap analysis, identify things which we are shortfall against these ISO 22000 requirement. Then we'll go for the training part of this system to build the gap and making our people understand the requirement of the food safety management system. Then we start documenting the required set of document as per the clauses we have in the food safety management system. Then once we document these things, then we have a verification process for this, like internal auditing. We do internal auditing for implemented things and come up with the shortfalls, like gaps between the standard requirement and the things what we have implemented. And once we cross these internal audit and review these things happening against these observation under the requirement of FSMS, and when we satisfy with the internal assessment, then we'll bid for the certifying body to come and audit us and certify the organization with a certification of ISO 22000. And I think this is all about the agenda, but we have defined in the banner to discuss with, as well as FSMS 22000 is concerned. If we'll go one by one, we can have more time. We can spend a day or two for discussing ISO 22000 if we'll go clause by clause discussion. This is what the agenda what we have put for today's. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for talking about the food, talking about the benefits principles of FSMS. Thank you so much. Now let's start with the panel discussion. We have the 4 panelists: Dr. Sundar Kataria, Mr. Om Prakash Rana, Mr. Vikas Kumar, and Mr. Manish Purani. About Mr. Vikas Kumar, Assistant Director for the Food Safety Compliance, Food Regulations and Compliance Center, New Delhi. Masters in Food Science and Technology. His experience, his area of specialization is into food technologies professional with 12+ years of diverse experience in food production, lead auditor for FSMS, certified trainer from IGNOU for postgraduate diploma in food safety and quality management, authorized signatory for NABL, FSSAI approved FOSTAC trainer for advanced manufacturing, advanced catering and street food vendor, FSSAI approved hygiene and rating auditor. About Mr. Manish Purani, He's a regional manager, West 2 and Pune branch manager for International Certification Services Private Limited. He has done BE in Mechanical, MBA Operations, Lead Auditor for QMS, EMS, OHSMS, ISO 13485 and SA 8000. He's also a trainer for Lead Auditor. Work profile is 7 years in plastic molding, foundry, ceramic, fabrication industries. I request you all to please join for the panel discussion.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Ji.
Yeah, thank you very much for a very nice presentation, Rana sir.
Thank you.
It was, yeah, it was very nice, very crisp, and to the point. You have explained us about the requirements of high-level structure, the documentation, and the benefits and the disadvantages of the high-level structure and the food safety requirements. I formally welcome you, sir, for this panel discussion. I also
Thank you.
welcome Mr. Vikas. So a very strong biodata, and I formally welcome you for this discussion. So basically, the first thing which I would like to ask Rana sir, like you have got a very huge experience. As you rightly said that there is a gap. You said in your presentation that there is a gap between the documentation and implementation. So I too strongly feel that the industries, the management, and the consultants need to play a very vital role in resolving this gap.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so what exactly you would like, or what exactly you see when you go, or when you have come across these gaps? So what exactly the reasons could be?
Region is very clear. If you that what you said, that the consultant part is concerned. When we hire a consultant will start feeling that he is the only person who is responsible for documentation and implementation. And they will come one day, they will come with a bunch of a document and put them in front of the people of the organization, of the team, and start implementing these things without having any knowledge of these documents to the team. This is the major gap what I feel. See, when we see a kind of a procedures SOP in the organization, which people even does not know whether this SOP is made for us or not. This is the major thing. I think we need to patch that gap between the consultant and the organization. They should have an approach for a value addition, so that they can have a better implementation with a better documentation knowledge to the team what the organization have.
Actually, he is the person who knows better than the organization. Okay, so that is why he is being hired for carrying out all these activities. So I think whatever he will give the message, whatever system, whatever documentation, whatever awareness the consultant will give to the organizations, I think that becomes the Bible for those organizations.
Right.
So
right.
it is
But
very, the consultant, I feel he plays a very vital role in carrying out these activities.
yes, definitely. But the principle of the FSMS, which is general principle, the involving of the people is left behind. We need to definitely is a very valuable hand holding part of the organization, but involving of the people is very much important for better implementation. And when we are implementing FSMS in the company and putting a lot of values behind that, the value addition should come out, which is it is, I think, missing that part when we are not involved people right on the floor.
One more thing I feel like along with the consultant, even the management role plays a very important factor, basically, because the first message that should go to the consultant from the management is what he expects and what he wants. So
Yes.
that message, if it is very clear to the consultant or the person who is implementing the system, I think things can be better and better in the coming days.
Yes, very rightly said you have.
Yeah, Vikas ji, आपको क्या, what you would like to say in this, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Manisha, for introducing me and welcoming me. I am also delighted to, have with all the experts which have very, wide experience related to the food safety management. And I will add on to this point that, yeah, as you all say that when, the role of any consultant is very important when we are going to implement the management system. But parallelly, industry and management must update themselves about the management system. They must provide the trainings to their management, to their supervisors, up to grassroots level. So whatever consultancy is doing, so they can grasp it and they can implement it in their routine process, routine production. So then the results will come,
Correct.
for the food safety management system. And nowadays, as you know, we have, very major challenges related to the food safety. The overall scenario market is also changing rapidly. Even the legal compliances and other management laws are, in the update form. So definitely there should be a, series of training, series of updation for the management staff also, apart from the consultation. So when the team will work, the things will be better implemented. And
But
it's
what
always a statement that trained people always perform better. So definitely it's a very integral part, despite to we rely on the consultant only, every management system, and they must think the standards up to their own. So this is my input when we thank you very much for your concern.
Anything else? Hello, Dr. Kataria.
Very good morning,
Good
Om
morning, sir.
Prakash ji, Rana Sahab. It is very nice of you sparing your precious time to join us, bless this meet.
Right, sir.
Thank
It
you.
is
Thank you.
inspired by you, sir, only. The way you are putting up people under one umbrella, whatever we have earned in our life in a so long experience of you and I, it is a payback time for the industry and the people of food safety management system.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I remember the first meeting you also attended way back, almost 30 years back.
Yes.
When we had in Bombay. Thank you very
Right.
much. I'm also delighted to see Dr. Vikas Kumar coming from our regulatory board and blessing this occasion and meet. My opinion on this is I think it is a joint responsibility because alone consultant cannot do. And another thing, also the organization, the top management, I'm saying management, who are the managers, especially a very pivotal role is played by the food safety manager, which is a mandatory requirement they have to have. Now he has to be proactive. Like this, our consultant is very experienced, everything, but he plays with his many constraints because the client doesn't provide you time, and then
Yes.
the manager is always bogged down with all the production activities.
Right.
And then all these things are there. But one thing is there, as Vikas sir has told, you had to go up to all level of people, not only manager or supervisor trained, but the workers also have to be trained. Basic food hygiene and all the system they have to be trained. Like in Dubai, they have very good system. Each and every worker of the organization trained. Even the driver who is used, he is also qualified and trained. So
Yes.
these are the some good practices we can follow. And plus another thing, one thing is very good, I see, for food safety. We have now regulation in place. We have Food Act in place.
Yes.
Plus, apart from the driving force, I feel is the national international requirement. Now, India is very well placed in a world map where it is
Right.
export is concerned.
Right. Very
So
right, sir.
that is also going to play very driving role for them to adopt good management system. Thank you. You covered all the aspect of ISO
Thank you, sir.
22000. We are going to go more detail because we are having around almost 50 more programs running on the food safety. Thank
Okay.
you, Vikas sir. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you, sir.
Keep
Thank
on
you very
doing
much.
good things, sir. Keep on doing good things. My wishes to you. Keep on doing good things. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, where is our friend? Hello. Oh, okay. Okay, I have now one big question from the regulatory authorities, Mr. Vikas Kumar. If you see, India is very vast and our food habits also changing very fast. And we have quite a lot of requirement coming from regulatory board. Now, how those requirements will be covered by all type of industries, whether it is on that Komchawala or a restaurant or a sweet shop, which they are restricted. They always don't want to put the date of manufacturing as an expiry date. There are certain restrictions are coming from the manufacturing itself. How do you put light on that one, please, Mr.
Yes,
Vikas?
sir. Exactly. You raise a very important point when we talk about the overall quality of the food product. So whatever the products are available should be as per the optimum quality. But when we talk for the regulatory part, so first of all, when you will see our licensing and registration regulation, so you will find that they are providing licensing and registration as per their kind of business. And also there are schedule for requirement, they are also defined as per the kind of business. Like if you are a petty food business, then there are different requirements. If you have license, center license, then you may have different requirements. And when you will see overall the high risk food product category, so there are the separate compliances are there. And now as we have many compliances is the in the regulation, but now the time to make them implemented practically. And I think FSSAI have taken very good initiative for implementation up to the grassroots level. As we can see the part of post-tech training that they have initiated the food safety trainings. And these trainings are for everyone. Like if you are a small food vendor or either you are a big industry. So when the people will aware about their responsibility related to the food, related to the food safety, then definitely there will be some enforcement after that, and they will start implementing. And sir, there are very good result of all these trainings and hygiene audits. I think more than 6 to 8 different city, specify the specific area for the street food vendor. They have defined zones for high quality products. So
Yeah.
definitely in future when they will actively focus on this, this will be in our culture. And food quality, as we went in the processing, so it little bit diminished. Otherwise it is our ritual also that we serve better and quality product to our consumer or to our family member, whatever it is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sorry, Manishi, you are not there, so I took over. You are mute. You are mute. Manish, you are
Yeah.
mute.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Actually, the line got disconnected. Basically, sir, in this regard, you very rightly said about the statutory requirement. My means what I have observed over a period of time, the approach by the statutory bodies and also the one who are implementing in the organizations or the small vendors or the shops or small hotels. So the seriousness is a big concern. And even after that, we see that the licensing bodies, they give the licenses to these people. So what can be done in this regard?
Can I answer this question?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, you also. Yes.
See, yes. See, you rightly said that we are authority is just putting up issuing of license by closing their eyes. Nowhere they are worried whether the organization is having a food safety standard based structure for processing that food, or they have a trained people with them, or they have hygiene standards implemented there in the premises. What has happened is we need the FSSAI now, but I have told that in 2017 started a division of FOSTEC to change the mindset of the people. And Dr. Kataria has said that it is now the requirement of the global community as world across, when we are meeting with the world standards, and India is now in the world platform. It will comes. We need to change our mindset right from the taking of the license for the product, putting up on that safe structure for producing these products, and means to graduate these people who are interacting with the process, make them understand the gravity of the food safety and the awareness of the specification of that product, which need to meet under the highly safe and hygiene situation. Here the it will period is time is taking, but the people have started thinking down the line. A lot of things are happening. FSSAI started the hygiene rating for a food business operator. They have started clean food street hubs, inspection implemented, training them and implementing them and certifying them for clean street food vending. They have for putting up a standard for bhog places, for the prasad you get from the temples, the campus certification, the food you have cutting from the campus canteen to your children's kind of a thing. A lot of efforts are they are doing all over the across the India and the processes itself. I think this is a good start where we are heading towards the safe and hygiene infrastructure or safe and hygiene places for food.
Sir,
Yes,
one
yes.
question in this regard to Vikas sir also. Like अभी हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि काफी सारे ऑनलाइन फूड का ऑर्डर होता है. There are a lot of people who are ordering on online, like Swiggy है, Zomato है, and many other food hubs are there. Small people also, they come out with their own online food services. So how do the authorities can control these type of, because as a user one cannot know from where the food is coming.
Yes.
So how do we
Yeah,
control
Manish sir,
these activities?
Yeah, Manish sir, I will, answer this. First of all, I will answer your earlier question, what Ranaji had
Yes, sir.
answered. So I
Yes,
will
sir.
add on some point in that.
Yeah.
Sir, when we will show the approach of authority, you will see that we have a very new Food Safety Act 2006, which is passed by our parliament, signed by our president in 2006 only. After that, in 2008, first time FSSAI established as per this new act, Food Safety Act. And in 2011, first time the rules and regulations, they were drafted by the authority, by the FSSAI. So after 2011, what was the big challenge for the FSSAI? That they just start giving the license or registration, because there are very important points to follow before getting a license. But if at very initial stage FSSAI enforce all that point to the industry, because the regulations was new for our food safety, for our food industry. So initially what they do, they simply focus on the more registration. So they can easily identify that who is the manufacturer, what they are manufacturing, what are their products. Now they have very big data. You will see that when you will go in the market, so more than 90% people or food business operator, they are licensed, registered, or by the FSSAI. So it's a very big part that FSSAI have achieved. Now in the second step, they have launched the food safety trainings. So they will aware about the people, aware the people about the food safety and quality. And frequently they will start the enforcement to implement all these food safety requirements. Sir, we have a diplomatic, country, we have a social country. We have to look after everything, so the industry should not suffer at a single frame. So I think this is the overall approach of the authority for implementing the food safety ecosystem in the country. And
Yeah, yeah, I
when you will
agree with
see,
what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. I like the licenses which were not there earlier. Many people were operating without licenses. Now at least you can see the licenses are there in place. So you can the displays are there, the licenses, the FSSAI licenses are being displayed, and they are made mandatory to take the license. So I 100% agree with the positive movement that the authorities have taken. Yes, sir. Please.
yeah,
Please.
definitely, sir. And in future you will see that FSSAI will implement all the things in our food safety ecosystem. They have new recruitment also. There are more than 500 new joining as a central food safety officers. They have new updated staffs which belong to the food science and technology background. So when we run a organization, everything we require. So FSSAI is fulfilling all things parallelly, so they can go for better implementation of the food safety. And when we concern about all this e-commerce website, so FSSAI have make it clear that any e-commerce website, if they will have any vendor for food, so they will first fulfill the legal requirement of that vendor. So that vendor must be licensed by the FSSAI. So this is the minimum requirement to register on this e-commerce platform.
Yeah.
Like, sir, if you are ordering a food through a e-commerce website, when you will
Hmm.
visit the name of that vendor, so you will also find the license number of that vendor. It is mandatory to write the license number in the application only. So when you are, ordering any food on from the e-commerce website, so you can easily assess the FSSAI license of that vendor who is originally supplying food to you. And we have a very good FOSCO system on the FSSAI portal. So simply you can put license number of anybody and you can get all the detail related to the
Yeah,
license,
good.
that who is the manufacturer, what is the location, what are the product they are manufacturing. So I think it is under the trace now. We can
Good.
trace out
Yes,
the
yes. So I think
Yeah.
it's
And
the right
another
time
thing
to we all have
I
to
can
join.
also
Yeah.
add
Yes, sir.
further that FSSAI has also very good thing done. You are authorized now CAB and CB's certification body
Yes.
to expand your hand,
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
reach
yes.
more and
Yes.
more vendors, more and more
Right.
food suppliers.
Right.
That is a good move. Compliments are
Yes.
compliment. Another thing,
Yes.
one thing which is required, I feel, is our consumer has to be educated. They should demand. If they are getting the food, is there is no manufacturing date, you should not accept. Because
Sir,
it has to be driven by the consumer.
in our country, I think democracy again plays a very bad role actually, because of that, everyone take it for granted कि I can do anything what I want. So हमारे
Yeah.
यहाँ पे अगर discipline लाना है, तो I think there has to be some sort of law enforcement and very strict discipline, because without that, I don't see that people will change. Because we had been observing people since
Even-
so many years. हमारे से ज्यादा उम्र आप लोगों की है, but it should not take so much of time, a complete year, a complete age of a person to change the system. I think that's not very good for the country.
This is what has started
Correct.
by FOSTEC actually. This is what I have
Yeah.
started. We need to change the mindset of the people right from the
Mindset.
yes, yes. We need to change the mindset of the
Yeah,
people.
another thing, I remember the cases from the metro cities, the contract is awarded to the, for supply of the food boxes to the railways. Now, the main contractor, he gets then he uploads to the, maybe a subcontractor who is not at all aware, who doesn't have system, who doesn't have thing. Such
Yeah.
cases are happening, what you told. Now, how to stop these things is very difficult.
सर इसके लिए डंडा ही चाहिए, उसके सिवा हमारे यहाँ पे बदल नहीं होने वाला है.
नहीं देखिए इसके लिए what has done Mr. Vikas has said that we have the FSSAI is doing a lot of homework on registering every food business operator into their basket. Once they identify, every food vendor, they will mine and they will put everything on that. Once they identify it, if you are identify thing, you can act on thing. System can be make for the elimination of these things, right?
Yeah.
That altogether a practice can change the mindset of the people. Once they
Yeah.
register, the system will be there for taking care of them.
No, sir, very good point, Dr. Sundar Kataria sir have raised. Actually, in last week only, I was auditing some outlets, government establishment outlets in Chandigarh. So, they have a food safety mela in January, so they were planning for that. So, what they have make change in their vendoring system. Earlier, only FSSAI license was required to get any contract or to get any establishment to operate for food, either any restaurant, any canteen, or anything related to the food activity. But now they have included Schedule 4 guideline, general hygiene and sanitary guideline in the contract only. So who will be running the food business? He must be legally fulfill the requirement of regulations. Otherwise, the contract will be cancelled. So
Okay.
this is
So
the
I think,
outcome of the
this is-
requirements. Sir.
Yes, yeah,
You are
these are-
more experienced, so you are aware about the requirement. So definitely the things will change when we will positively move to the things. Now the government also planning that in their vendor requirement, in their vendor guideline, they also publish the Schedule 4 guideline. If party is fulfilling the Schedule 4 guideline, then they will only approve them to grant any work related to the food safety or the food processing. So the things will positively change, sir. We are also, posing as a consumer, and FSSAI have done very good in the respect of the consumer also. Although people are less aware about that, they have various trainings for consumers as a consumer. They have various applications, mobile applications you can download on your Android or on your cell phone. So related to the health and consumer awareness, they have very good initiatives. So what we have to do, personally, I think that we must promote all these things to the consumer or to the industry, so they can go for the self-compliance.
Very
Yes.
correctly said, sir. Sir, one more thing, Rana sir, you were telling about the hazards. Like there are different hazards, the physical hazard, the chemical hazards, the biological hazards, and the allergens and all. So, as a consumer, okay, how those hazards, whether those are going to affect, like if there are some biological hazards in in some food item, as a consumer, how one will come to know that? Is there any system or is there any methodology where the consumer can look it from?
See, as well as the biological hazard is concerned, most of the hazard you cannot see by naked eye.
Correct.
The only thing, anything what you can see is the fungus, algae you can see when you have on your product. This is what you need to avoid. Otherwise, the product behavior will reflect you the things like if you have a milk pouch, if your milk pouch is puffed one, it means some contamination happened and your product got puffed. If your cane is puffed, it means something happened with the biological part of the product, then that cane is puffed. You should not eat for this. Once you see the product has itself pathogen there in that raw material also, and it comes from the outside also, right? To what the processes we done is to make that biological hazard under the limitation of our body, what our body can accept biologically, right? And as and when that biological hazard get uneven situation or condition, they will come up and replicate very fast, so that the food got poisoned. And once you eat the food having contaminated by biologically pathogens, then you have an infection or an intoxication. Right?
Yeah, I can further add that biological hazard you can also correlate with the expiry date.
Yes.
Like you take the mushroom. Now
Yes.
it has given the expiry date.
Yes.
If it is beyond expiry date, you will see its color has changed. It has become yellow. It has become black. So it means it has biological hazard has increased there.
Yes, yes, a parasite.
So,
Actually, mushroom
that's
is
why
a
I say
parasite.
consumer has to be really
Ah,
understand. Like
right.
milk also.
Very
If
good.
you can see the pouch will bulge out or something will happen because bacteria is growing
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
swelling it. So one has
Yes.
to really be practical to know this one. And consumer is the best. He can see when he opens the bottle of a milk, he gets a smell.
Yeah.
He knows there is a biological hazard is there. It is spoiled now.
Sir, as a food regulator compliance center or as a regulator, is there any sort of like the vigilance team and the outcomes of the vigilance department are being available on the website? And in every district or in every state, we have some sort of vigilance departments and they carry out the vigilance activities as far as the food requirements are concerned. And then these things are available to the public. Is there any such domain available?
Yeah, definitely, sir. There are the things available when we talk about the FSSAI. That FSSAI, they have also Vigilance Awareness Week. They are also going for the enforcement drive, and they have very good food safety, enforcement structure. So they are the things, and whatever will be the outcome of their enforcement or vigilance. So they are published on their official website only. So we can overall find the report of their vigilance on the official website, and we can come to know.
Kataria sir, how would you see this FSMS 2018 as a opportunity for the industries and also to the customers? What is your opinion on this?
Yeah, as I told, now we have very good growth for catching up the international market. If you see Gujarat, if you take the Kutch, which has developed recently within the last 10 years. And now it is in the world map, one of the biggest exporter. Growth was almost 30%. It was amazing to see. And today we read the news in UAE and Gulf countries. Earlier, Brazil and other countries, they were on the top. Today, India is on the top.
Yes.
India is the major supplier. Now, we have a good growth because from HACP now is upgraded to 22,000. So everybody is going to ask for 22,000, not HACP. Even Dubai, where it was HACP, now it has become, they are adopting from next year 22,000. So is going to have very good market.
Sir, one question, since you're talking or since we belong to the certification body, like we see every country nowadays, though we have the ISO standard in place, but still every country starts demanding their own ISO standard certifications. Like in UK, if you go, they ask for BRC, then FSSC 22,000, whereas the international standard for the food safety is already available. So why such type of things are there? Like once we say it's an international standard, so that should be globally accepted to all the countries.
Yeah, I think Mr. Vikas Kumar can put a light on that one because there is a difference between the national requirement and the international requirement. Yes, Vikasji.
Yeah, definitely, sir. We have, very much different legal requirements when we talk about the Europe, USA, and we have also very different food habit related to the consumer. So as per their requirement, they have the standards, they have the requirements. So when you will see all FSSC, the other standard. So basically they are following ISO 22,000 only in their base standard. Apart from that, they have other technical standard, they have other requirement, legal requirements, or any other domestic requirement. So they are adding in this culture. But overall, when you will see, when we overall talk about the food safety, so ISO 20,000 is a base standard, which is globally accepted.
Yeah.
Although there are some specific requirement country to country or area to area, consumer to consumer. So they are all adopted in the different ISO. I hope Mr. Rana, they have very vast experience in handling
yes.
all ISO.
Yes, you
So
very
they have
rightly.
something in their mind, so they are laughing.
No, it's you very well rightly said that this is the base standard. ISO 22000 is a base standard, and you see, when we are in India, we have a different geographical area, geographical needs of the people, right? So that if they are complies with the ISO 22000, we don't need to put any other additional requirement to the system. But see, in UK, you are especially talking about BRC, they have their specific requirement according to their geographical area and the requirement of their regulatory. They have added up to the these requirement to the VRC system, and they are accepting. They have made up this system for acceptability of the product. But very soon they will come up to accept this ISO 22000. As and when the 22000 is growing up, coming up with the high level structure to integrate part of the system, they will definitely accept in future. I don't think
I feel earlier it was disintegrated, then integrated. Now again we are going in the disintegrations.
yes. Because then the only system will remain is that international ISO international standard like 22000. They are see when ISO 22000 2005 comes up, there are a lot of gaps in that system for integration. Now we are coming up with the high level structure. Then I think it's nowhere we are escaped from implementing the system in the country itself. So that I think they will accept sooner or later, they will accept this international standard as a whole.
Yeah. I think thank you very much for all the inputs that you have provided on this panel. Last, I would just like to ask Vikas sir to how do you see or when we see that yes, India, the whole India is there at the top of in the FSMS or the food safety standards and all. What do you anticipate in this? Like how much time it will take? What is your
sir, as in the initial of this training, we discuss even about the ISO and the other standards, either it is a regulatory. So it is from the base, we have to get the reflexes to implement any type of standard. So, sir, we can assume that when the, thoughts of the people will change, when they will start implementing, ultimately when it will go to the grassroots level. There is no any type of enforcement or any legal rule can't do the, or accept or achieve the food safety. It is all of us, we have to work together to, although when we talk about the FSSAI, they are getting better, regulations, better implementing. So as per their plan of vision, in next 5 years,
but
there will be a better...
one thing I will definitely say in this, just like we have in the certification systems, like we certify an organization, then there are the surveillance audits which take care whether the systems are there in place or not. So initially the certificate is awarded only when you have a proper system in place. Okay, so that's the whole logic and approach that the CBs they follow. Now, when we look at from the FSSC point of view, can there not be a strict regulation? Unless and until this infrastructure is there in place, the license should not be issued. ऐसा एक लाइन हम लोग नहीं कर सकते हैं क्या?
बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं सर. आप you see that in the month of November, more than 600 notice issued to the industry.
Okay.
Who are not even going to comply the food safety third party audit.
Okay.
So what authority did? They give notice to 600 industry in the north, and they just give 15 days time to update with their third party audits. And even when you see in the Kerala, so they just suspend more than 100 license.
Okay.
Who were not implementing the regulation.
Okay.
Although we have a we can say we have a democratic country, so there is pressure from everywhere.
Yeah.
But FSSAI start implementing these.
Yes.
requirement. So very
We
soon
all,
it
we
will
all
be a-
support you, sir, in this very good cause, because ultimately, if we all support you, it is going to come to us only in return. So I think we all have to join hands, as we all rightly said. It's not individual, it's a combined effort, and everyone has to be conscious, everyone has to be alert, and everyone has to contribute. It's not only the organization, everyone has to contribute for the cause where we all are aiming at. So I think it's already time 12:30. So finally, I will ask Kataria sir to sum up the things, and then we'll call for the day.
Thank you, thank you very much, Manish ji. I think it was overall very good. Mr. Rana spoke about the basic requirement of the ISO 22000. This is the standard which is catching up very fast. And then we had very good input coming from Vikas sir, who is from the regulatory body. And he explained a lot of things about FSSAI and how they operate, how they do, what are the importance. Only I would say, as you also told Manish, that it is the joint responsibility. And Mr. Rana also told us the mindset has to change.
Mindset has to change.
It has to be consumer driven. We are eating, we should know we are eating safe food or not. If it's a FSI, today everybody's looking FSSAI mark. And they have good control. And plus, as they say, that they are also keeping a watch. They are the watchdog also. Plus, many companies who are not following, they are not complying, and those are being licenses. So such thing will continue. Is a good thing that, and the more and more awareness required with the consumer. One thing I would strongly say, the multimedia is very strong today. And I think food authority, they should also use the multimedia
Correct.
to show if there is anything has been de-licensed. So consumers should know that has been de-licensed. And so more and more people will get the example and they will improve and they will not left, so they will not go short way. That is my, I think, sum up. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Really, we
Thank you, sir.
appreciate
Thank
it.
Thank
you
you,
for-
Vikas sir. Thank you, Rana sir. And thank you, Kataria sir. Take care, all of you, and stay safe. And over to you, Sushma, for the closing thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We thank all the panelists for such a wonderful panel discussion. It has surely helped to increase our knowledge. Thank you, everyone. Next session for the Satgun Sangh Meet, that is 59th virtual webinar, is on 1st January 2022 on the topic food transport, storage and distribution. The keynote speaker is Mrs. Krishna Datta. ICS is pleased to provide you all its research and development. Below are the books, the name of the books. If you all want to purchase, please contact the below. Feedback form. Please register on www.sadgunsang.org and go in your login and give your feedback. Thank you for being a part of Sadgun Sangh. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Hello.